Okay, good morning. Sorry about that. I got cut off. I don't know what happened. The battery went from fully charged to nothing. That's what you get for using an old phone, I guess. But hi, I'm Julie. I'm with Heal2 Change, and I'm here to share that we can live life. There's no reason to suffer. There's no reason to be in pain. Discovering where your pain, whether it's physical, emotional, mental pain is coming from, there are always answers. And the answers are by listening to the body, tuning in to what's going on with the body and why you feel the way you do. So I've done a lot of the healing through breath work, and I've tried many modalities. I've tried mushrooms, I've tried cannabis, and none of that stuff works for me. And what I found is I just have a lot of unprocessed stuck energy. And I've been doing this for, before I even knew about it, I was doing a lot of crying, and a lot of that crying was emotions. Our body is bombarded with stuck energy because we don't process. I share how to process your energy by sitting and letting go and breathing into it. Do you have to breathe the way I teach you? Probably not, but there's a way of breathing where you can calm the body, and then there's a way of breathing to let go of the emotions. You want to see more of the breathing? So I do share on here how to do the exercises, and it's very important to listen to the body. The body is hurting because it's telling you it's hurting. You got to listen. And when you listen, you realize that, oh my God, had I been doing this all along, I could have been living life all along. But anyways, understanding that the body's communicating with you. So many people they don't start listening until they're in their 40s. You know, when they're bombarded, they still pop a pill, they go to a doctor, and some of that can work, but if it's not working, you've got to realize it's because you're supposed to listen to the body. So a lot of people are drinking caffeine when they're tired. I'll give you an example. Instead of listening to the body when it's tired, what if you're just tired because you have to change a diet? What if you need to let go of like all the bread you're eating, the pasta? Maybe it's too heavy for your body. People feel heavy. Sometimes it's not even the food. So I spent the first 40 years learning about the food, and that always worked for me. But then I spent the last 10 years learning that when the body's communicating with you, it's because, hi, Frank, the body's communicating with you saying, hey, it's not the food anymore. Try something different. Because I tried so many different diets for like the last 5 years, and nothing worked. It's because it had nothing to do with the food. It had to do with what was going on in here. And when you get bombarded with emotions and you're not processing your emotions, it's like your computer and you're overloaded. So that's why a lot of people they feel like they're going through midlife crisis when they hit 50. They go through weight change because their body has overloaded of information, and it needs to be sent. You need to breathe it out. You need to go run. For some people, all they have to do is run and let it all out. But for somebody like me who's always exercised, I did stop running about 5 years ago, and it's kind of funny that all that breathing would have let go from running, all that unprocessed energy. So if you look at people that run, they don't usually have stuck energy or symptoms. They might have knee problems, but those knee problems are holding on to guilt or anger or something, only because I've worked with people in knee problems. It had nothing to do with the running, but they assume it's the running. So many of us assume what the problem is. And what are you saying, Frank? If you want to see more, I don't know what that means. So this is about healing and anxiety, feeling discomfort, and that discomfort of not able to move forward. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, Mask Man. I meant Mask Man. But Frank, thanks for being here. I can't see what that says. Chant? Are you saying chant? Chance. Hi, Grim. Thanks for being here. So we're talking about when the body hurts. It is sharing, hey, I'm talking to you. Hi, Tap Fix. Oh, Thanks for coming on, Frank. So I share every day, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, how to process your emotions. And it's just by sitting and breathing a certain way to let go of the stuck energy. I've healed many of my symptoms, and I can't say that I healed them. I did breath work and let it go. Um, and I'm still letting go. So I do this right before I come on, and sometimes I'll start crying because the emotions are still coming up. I'll burp, I'll belch, I'll cough, but all of it is for me because I get to the root causes of all these emotions I've held on to, like guilt and blame. You don't even think you're holding on to anger when you're not an angry person. Sometimes the anger is something that happened 40 years ago you're not even familiar with. And then you find out it's not even your anger. You've been holding on to your mom's anger, your grandmother's anger. A lot of my symptoms, because we did come from our grandmother, because when you were inside your mother, your mother was inside your grandmother. So the eggs are already formed. So anything your grandmother's going through, like, oh my God, I'm having a baby. How am I going to afford this child? How am I going to put a roof over its head? Am I going to be a good parent? All those emotions and stress that woman is going through is in the egg of the embryo that's growing inside the grandmother. Isn't that weird? And so, yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I had to let go by the time I had my son because I got triggered, and it's kind of strange. But I'm letting go of my mother's money problems. So even though my mom was frugal, she never believed she deserved more money. She's like, I don't need money, but she didn't want money because she didn't feel like she could have it. And many people's money problems, which I didn't want to get on money problems, but money problems will create health issues because you'll block it. No matter how hard you try to get the money, you'll have anxiety. Hey, see, I don't know how to pronounce that. Vibs. I'm just going to call you Vibs. I love cougars. Okay. So does anybody have any health issues or anxiety, brain fog, memory loss? A lot of memory problems come from being overloaded with information, trying to do too much. And you start thinking, I'm losing my memory, but nobody loses their memory. I mean, I talked to my 80-year-old mom and I'm having her remind me of what it's like what, because I don't know anything about my grandfather. She doesn't know about her dad, but she didn't get to hang out with them because her mother always kept her away from him. But we're talking about him yesterday. She's 80 and she still remembers him giving her gifts at the school and her mom not letting her keep them. So what I'm sharing is that's probably where her money problems came up, where she was getting all these gifts and then the mother threw them away because she didn't want her to have them, which is kind of sad. But it made me realize why my husband had so many issues is because his grandmother never let him have toys or candy or anything, even though his brother got candy and toys every Sunday. And this little boy who's like 3 years old doesn't understand why he can't have a toy or candy. And so he's not with us today, but he grew up struggling all the time, thinking he wasn't good enough. So I share this because if something's going on with health, happiness, or success, somewhere you're not feeling like you're good enough, you're struggling, but it's a part of you and you won't understand it. But if you have some kind of health issues or something's not going forward in your life, or you go forward and you get pulled back like a rubber band, kind of like a roller coaster going up and down. Hi, Hyper Mover Steve, or Hypernova Steve. So a lot of times we don't understand what's going on. We just think that's the way of life, but it's not the way of life. There's a program running that's saying, hey, you need to listen. You need to remove this in order to move forward. So at 60 years old, I'm still learning this, that my money problems, I never had money problems ever until the last year. Now, did I try and move forward on a business? Yeah, I always ventured out and always came back to the old business of working on one client at a time. I was trying to build a business to work at many clients like I was trained 10 years ago and still wasn't able to get there. and like sell something where I can sleep and make money, and it's never been able to happen. Well, that's because there's a program running. It doesn't mean you don't deserve it, but there's a program that's running that says, I can't have it. No matter how many affirmations and mantras and how many stories I said and dreamt about it, I still don't have it. I still had to work one on one. But I'm realizing it wasn't even in my life, it's in my mother's life, because my mother has always said it will come to me if I need it. Mommy, is it pink? Okay, if you want to say stuff like that, this is about health and I'm helping people. So keep your comments to yourself, or you go somewhere else. How do I block Cassette? All he's asking is, what am I talking about? So I will. Okay, I'm gonna hide the Kenor because he's the one that's talking shit. Okay, so let's see. I can block him for 5 minutes. I was told not to block people because that makes me look bad. As somebody that has been on this YouTube he has like 10 million people. He's like, don't block people, just suspend them. Okay, so I suspended him. You can call me. Okay. Anyways, so emotion focused therapy, EFT. What am thinking is, can it be applied to achieving personal abundance? So I've done EFT. It didn't do anything as much as I did breath work. So let me share with you Tap Fix. Discovering what is in the way. What is in the way, and that's where you want to go. So every day I set an intention. So I start at 6 in the morning. I set an intention what I want to work on. I want to work on clarity. What's standing in my way? Just ignore people and listen to me, okay? People will try and say things. People will interfere. Focus. Don't look at what people are reading, all right? Because I have to ignore it because I love everybody, and there are people here for a reason, whether they believe it or not. Anyways, I want to stay focused. So you can try EFT. I did it, God, 10 years ago, and I've known about it for 30 years. But although it made the emotions come up, I found that the breath work has helped me more than anything, because I set an intention and I ask, what is it? I ask the universe, what can I do to let go of this feeling? So I don't have to go in detail what the feeling is. It's a discomfort, it's heaviness. So when I share with people to communicate with their body, because that's what you want to do. When your body's tired, feeling uncomfortable, feeling overthinking, can't stop. Alcohol is my only cure at this. Well, so this is how I stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped drinking alcohol, and then I had anxiety. But I had to get to the root cause of what the anxiety was. The anxiety was I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel like anybody cared about me. And it's basically I didn't care about myself because I cut it off. But I'm going to do an exercise with you. And drinking only suppresses the emotions. It kind of like numbs you, kind of like pot and food and all the other drugs. And anxiety is actually numbing you too. It's distracting you from living the life you want. So give that part of you a name. You can give that part of you that drinks a name. And so I always call it the anxiety or the discomfort, Brittany. Now, if anybody's name is Brittany, I'm sorry. I did get people that told me, hey, I'm Brittany. What are you trying to say? And they were being cool about it. Personal growth and clarity improvements involve adopting a growth mindset, practicing regular self-reflection. Yeah, that works. And I did all that the first 40 years of my life. But when I hit 50, I learned about ego and it went out the window. So that's why I learned breath work. And although I did all that stuff that you're talking at Elmo, I did mindset. My life was perfect. It's when I wanted to change careers. And instead of working one-on-one, work in groups, I was teaching mindset, healthy eating and exercise. But it was like I got a slap in the face because that's not everything. There's more to it. And all of a sudden, I was setting myself up for failure. It was like a what if I fail? And it was a program running in me. It wasn't even my program. It was my mother and my grandmother's program. So there is such thing as generational trauma. And that's what I had to go through. And through breath work, I had to heal all the stuck energy, the unprocessed emotions of guilt, blame, fear, a lot of fear of what if it doesn't work. But I've owned a company and made no sense that I would ever think like that. But they weren't my thoughts. A lot of our thoughts can be, if you're an empath, you absorb other people's feelings, their weight. I think also drugs should be legalized. They are legalized. Yeah, and look where people are. So many people are drinking and not realizing that they're uncomfortable in their own skin. That's what I realized when I was drinking. When I stopped drinking and I went out in public sober, I was so uncomfortable. I had so much anxiety. So breath work seemed more exposed. So what you're saying is the self-exposure create the connection between oneself and exact thought. But that can be a deep experience. I move through life. So I set an intention, and I'm going to share the exercise with you and do the breath work right here. So it's a lot of people that are doing breathing are only breathing shallow. And people that have been on here said, I can't do this longer than 10 seconds. It's because they're not used to breathing full breaths. You're supposed to breathe like this. Expand your belly when you inhale. All the way down to the pit of the stomach. If you're not breathing all the way to the pit of your stomach, it's because you have emotions stuck in the belly. Guilt, sadness, anger, relationships that you ignored and you just blew them off, parents that you're upset with. So let me get back to the exercise. So the exercise is you name that part of you that needs to drink, do drugs, has anxiety, is uncomfortable, whatever that person is, name them. I name mine Brittany. So I'm just going to say Brittany is the discomfort in the body. And you write out in detail what Brittany is experiencing. So mine's Brittany, just the discomfort. What's the discomfort saying? And in detail, describe it. What does it look like? It looks dark, scary. Describe it. What is that feeling? Things do change. I don't have my health issues anymore. I don't have symptoms. The only symptom I have is I'm not a size 3. It's not a big deal, though. Are you telling me to mind my own business? I'm not really sure, because people are here and they're stuck. So, all right, so you describe the feeling, describe it. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to touch? Does it feel spiny? Some people, that discomfort is it feels like razors in their body. It feels like razors cutting them, glass. It feels like knives. So describe it. Describe what that discomfort feels like. Hi, Bach. We're describing our pain if you have pain. People that want to drink or smoke. And I'm just going to hide that user really quick. Okay, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? And then ask that discomfort. Why are you feeling this way? And you have to sit in your heart center. Why do you feel this way, discomfort? Or as I call it, Brittany. Brittany, why do you feel this way? And Brittany will say, and I don't want to say too much, but I'll say, she doesn't feel wanted, important, loved. And this is how a lot of the Britneys that I work with will feel. So you tell me what yours are feeling. I got pain in my nuts when laying on my side. Bach, why does that even... I'm trying to help people here. Why would you even say that? That's stupid. Sorry to say. So once you describe your pain, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what would it say if it could talk? And would it say, I'm avoiding a situation. I don't want to move forward. I'm afraid. Everyone's going to have a different answer, but a lot of it comes back down to how you feel about yourself. Because that feeling, that discomfort is a part of you. So my Brittany would say, I'm scared. I'm afraid of moving forward. I'm afraid it doesn't work out. And this is just what some of my clients would say. So this isn't me, because I've already cleared a lot of that stuff. But when I named Brittany and I wanted to stop drinking, she told me that She felt like she was stupid, she was ugly, fat, wouldn't amount to nothing, and feared moving forward and stepping out of herself because she was feared of being judged and laughed at. And all those were in here in the mind. That's how our minds are. Or you work with one part of the pain. If you want to work it as a whole pain, you just give that whole pain, the whole body of pain, a name. So hello, Jaja, Jaja. Give that. So we're giving the pain a name, and I call mine Brittany. And you describe that pain, and you ask that pain. You can't not feel your pain. I mean, pain is there. I'm not sure I will ever be ready to look at my pains mentally and physically. I don't think I want to feel my pain. So it's not that you're, well, if you're going through discomfort, so let's not call it pain, let's call it discomfort. The discomfort, you're still giving it a name and asking it. But if you're not ready, I understand. That's why a lot of people will hold on to the pain because of fear. The fear of, but let me ask you, why don't you ask, is this pain even yours? Because a lot of my pain was my grandmother's. And I work with people with generational trauma. Happy day, Mom. Wida. Hi back. Okay, so when you ask your pain, what are you feeling? Ask your pain, your discomfort, what are you feeling? And you'll find that some of these feelings that they're explaining to you, they, meaning the part of you, is you, but a part of it may not be you. It could be your mom, your dad, your grandparents. It could be if there was a sick person in the family, it could be you absorbed their pain. I know I've worked with clients where they had a sibling that was born sick, and that sibling always got attention, more attention than all the other kids. So the other kids are like, I'm not feeling important. I don't feel anybody cares about me. And what happens is they want to start becoming sick because they realize that if they're sick and something's wrong with them, they will get attention. So a lot of kids will start creating this, and it becomes, they start manifesting it, and it comes in as adults. Does magnesium reduce anxiety? For some people, yes. I've taken magnesium and I stopped having panic attacks on the pickleball court. Yes, take in its bits and chunks, one small step at a time. It's like looking at a messy house. It's too much to look at. But if you fix small bits, eventually you'll be right. All right. Thank you for sharing. Hello, Jaja. So when I share, like I do breath work every single day, and every day I set an intention. Well, let me get back to the exercise. So once you describe what your pain is feeling, so Brittany has shared what she's feeling. She feels unwanted, unloved, unimportant. You got to ask, why does she feel this way? And then when you ask, why does she feel this way? And you get an answer, because it's going to come from the heart. You got to ask, what will it take to let it go? Some people can just put it down and move forward, but sometimes they pick it back up. For me, I can't put it down. I have to process it. I have to understand it, the lesson, because there's always lessons. Like me, it wasn't even my pain. So I was holding on to somebody else's pain that I inherited through my mom. And then through releasing it, I release it through breath work. So I set an intention through the breath work. And if you want, we'll do 2 minutes. I'll do it in like a couple minutes after I explain. When I have found I am good at teaching people how to let go of their pain. I'm good at pickleball when I'm not having a panic attack. I'm good at cooking. I don't know if you're talking about what I'm doing here, what I'm good at. So for breath work is what I've helped with all my clients. All my clients can do the breathing. Everybody can breathe. But it's when you get to that discomfort where somebody says to me after 10 seconds, I can't do this. It means there's a lot of stuck energy. And there was so much stuck energy in myself that there's reasons why it's taken me a couple years to do this. Because if I let it all out at once, it would have been too painful. It's like a transformation. I am pulling the old part of me out and rebuilding everything inside. From my generational trauma, all the old stuff is like being pulled out, and it's painful. So if I had done this in one day, I probably would have gone crazy. And that's why you can't do too much. You have to take it a little bit at a time. What do you think about dark chocolate for anxiety? Well, for somebody who's eaten dark chocolate in her entire life, did nothing for my anxiety. If it helps for you, again, I work with emotions and letting go. Who can gaze into the mirror without becoming evil? Many of us. The mirror does not reflect evil, but creates it. You are correct. And thanks for sharing. Because at the same time, when we look in the mirror and I'm like, who's that ugly person? And then one day you look beautiful. It's like, where did this beautiful person come from? Yeah, when I lost 35 pounds, I'm a very cool person, but I have had to pull down myself to everyone can be free from my personality. People think I'm weak. I'm actually smarter than they think, but I'm in the place I want to realize me. So I was a very smart person, and a lot of people thought I was strong, but I didn't have the confidence. So why would people think you're weak? Is it the way you're portraying yourself? So a lot of people thought I was strong, and just thought I was quiet and a good listener. I was uncomfortable being around people because I didn't feel comfortable being around myself. I wasn't comfortable with me, and I thought I wasn't good enough to be around them. So when we're talking about breath work, if you're ready to do the breath work, we're going to do it. The breath work helps you release the stuck energy in the body, and it helps you let go of whatever you're hanging on to. So you want to set an intention. And if you did the describing of the energy and you gave it a name, oh, well, tap, because I don't react crazy as they do. Um, Maybe those are the wrong people to be hanging out with if they're reacting crazy. Maybe you need to find a better, if you're in a good place, maybe you need to go hang out with somebody else. Nothing's ever going to change if you don't realize someone else is controlling you. Nobody can control you. You can get away. So nobody controls me. I could walk away. There was the door. So nobody was controlling me, but it's my thoughts or beliefs that they could control me. Music is therapeutic. I wrote a song with lyrics. You thought I was strong, but I told you I was weak. Sweet. I just wrote a song too. It was about how I stopped drinking. I don't remember the words. I have them written down, but something I wish I could remember. It was a really pretty song. I had chat write it up for me. Is Christ King, though? Christ is in each one of us. All right, so you ready to do the breath work? Who needs to let go of some stuck energy and just wants to be clear, have more motivation, energy, clear your mind, clear your thoughts? This is what we're going to do. You want to breathe in through your nose, full breaths. We're going to do it for 2 minutes. If you get dizzy, lay down. Dizzy is just a symptom. It doesn't mean you're going to die or anything. When you start getting dizzy or you start crying, let it go. The dizziness is a symptom that blocks you from breathing properly, and that's why you get dizzy, because you're not used to breathing and getting oxygen to all the cells of the body, right? So you're going to breathe either in through your mouth, through your nose, what's ever comfortable for you. Do it for the straight 2 minutes. It's going to bring calmness to you. You can do this anywhere you go, while you're driving, walking to the car. You just start breathing. It's not hyperventilating. It's deep breathing like this. And what it does is it gets oxygen all the way to the pit of the stomach, bringing up the stuck sadness, guilt, anger, blame, whatever you're holding on to, resentment. You're misleading people when you say nobody's controlling you. Are you talking about the government's controlling us? I don't know what, maybe I misunderstood what you're talking about, control, like they're controlling, imposing in us our food. Okay, so let's, and we're not even talking about that. We're talking about anxiety and energy and having a good day today. So let's do the breathing. We're going to do it in 45 seconds. Get ready to start breathing, 2 minutes. And this is going to help you to let go of the heaviness in the body. Let go of the stuck energy, especially if you drank last night, if you can't get off the couch. It's going to get oxygen to the body. People that are laying on the couch aren't really breathing. They're just kind of, They're just there. You got to breathe. All right. So in 20 seconds, you're just going to start breathing. I don't want you to stop for 2 minutes. Just keep breathing in and out, in and out. If you get emotional, let the emotions come up. In 10 seconds, if you start crying, laughing, choking, keep going and listen to my guidance. All right. In 3 seconds, and start breathing. It's going to be hard work, so keep going, but it's going to feel so good after 2 minutes. It's only been 18 seconds. Keep going. I know you're thinking, Julie, this is hard. It shouldn't be hard. That means there's stuck energy in the body. Breathe in a little bit more. Make sure to expand your belly. Breathe. It's been 1 minute. 1 more minute to go. I know, because there's stuck energy. I do this for an hour and I've released so much stuff that I've let go of my symptoms. We'll talk about, ask me questions after we're done. Breathe in a little bit more. If you're starting to get dizzy or wave around, go ahead and do it, but keep breathing. You're doing great. Keep going. Move your shoulders around. Loosen up that stuck energy. I'm sorry, I didn't give any statement about Christ. I don't talk about Christ. 15 seconds. You might be sweating. Keep going. This is good. Get ready to stop and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Go ahead and stop and feel the tingling in your body. Feel the comfort, the calmness, the peace. You might feel a little lightheaded, but and if you're not comfortable with that, that's because you're not used to it. But this is calm. This is being in alignment, present. And if you feel a little lightheaded, just close your eyes and just enjoy it. Breathe normally. I'm sorry, Bob. That's not what I meant. But we're not talking about Christ anyways. So if you didn't like my answer, you've got to understand what's going on with you, that it's bothering you. We're talking about anxiety and letting go of stuck energy. So it might be a belief of how you feel about Christ that gives you the anxiety. Maybe you're believing in a lie. Maybe you don't trust yourself and what your beliefs are. Work with some light exercise. Would you recommend combining breath work with some light exercise? I actually do exercise. Like I'm going to go out to the park and be and exercise and do that breathing at the same time, because I really want to get the oxygen to every inch of my body. So yeah, that works. There is a live stream going right now with an elephant chained to the ground. I can't. Why would you tell me that? I'm trying to get away from that kind of stuff. That's a horrible, horrible thing. Nobody cares to watch about that. That's, you know what you're doing is you're creating more PSD, panic attacks in your own system to do that, to watch stuff like that. Well, we don't talk about Jesus here, okay? We talk about letting go of the discomfort in the body, just to let you know. Enemas do not cure PTSD, because if that was true, it would have happened for me, all right? What happened to cure my PTSD was to let go, stop living in the past of what happened 58 years ago by doing breath work, and it was in every cell in my body. I had to let it go. I had to breathe, and it wasn't even my PTSD. It was inherited through my mother and my grandmother. And I don't like talking and talking about sad stuff on here. So whoever's talking about what's going on in another place, if that's what you like to listen to, I don't like to see things, people, animals, whatever being abused. It's not my thing. And that works for some people. But your body should be able to eliminate. If you're not able to eliminate and you have to do an enemas, you want to ask yourself, why are you holding on to stuff? So a lot of people that are constipated. Now, if you're not doing this every day, but there are some people that give their 5-year-olds enemas every single day. Hey, Caleb, sorry, my phone died. Wait. Oh, I'm on a different phone. My other phone died for some reason, even though I don't know what's going on with it. Probably because it's dying. So enemas help people that are constipated. It helps clear out. There's some stuck energy. I believe in doing massage but doing it on a 5-year-old every day because I was on a post, a group that was doing that. They were doing coffee enemas and their children were constipated. Get them off the junk food, and they're probably. I do know I had a client. I'm just going to share this that she was constipated at 2 years old, but her mom was on her all the time. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So a lot of times it's hard for people to go to the bathroom because they feel like they have to hurry. So they hold on to everything. And who was the other person? There was an aerobics instructor who didn't have time to go to the bathroom or pee or poop. And, and so she'd hold on to everything. She wasn't going to the bathroom every day, which I would think an aerobics instructor knows to go to the bathroom every day. Try enemas to help very much. Yeah, they didn't. I did them for 63 days when I was doing a parasite cleanse. Did nothing for me. Still was bloated. Just eat 3 bananas and a cup of coffee. Coffee does nothing for me. It makes me feel paralyzed. So how did anybody do the breath work? I'm going to do it again since there's more people on here. And again, enemas are not a way of life. You do them once in a while, but you really want to get to the root cause of why you're holding on to your stuff, why you're not going to the bathroom. You sure do talk a lot about someone who is trying to calm us. You sure do talk a lot for someone who's trying to calm us. What's wrong with talking a lot? I got to keep the interest. I love your concern for self-awareness. Thanks, Mike. Bob, I have to talk. I got to keep your interest. What are you trying to say? You want to do a meditation right now? I love your concern. Thanks. So let's do the breath work again. All right. Dude, people are so rude. Let's do the breath work because I like doing it. I'm going to do it for 30 minutes as soon as I'm done here. All right. So everybody, if you're feeling discomfort, if you are ready, set an intention. What do you want to get out of this breath work? Everyone should get. Why do you keep talking about enemas? Okay, I'm getting a little tired of this. I'm just gonna have to suspend you for a little bit. Sorry. We don't want to talk about enemas. We're talking about getting to the root cause. You want to get to the root cause, not do enemas every single day. So, what would you like me to talk about to help you be calm? I didn't know I was helping you be calm. I'm trying to get you to help understand your anxiety and how to let it go. So who said I was trying to help you be calm? Thank you for removing him. It was getting old. Yeah, I suspended him. So I found that you can't block people because it makes you look bad. I have him going. I have an ongoing addiction. Do you have any ideas to get rid of it? CO. So I got rid of my alcohol addiction and my anxiety. It's a feeling of you're not comfortable in your own skin. And so I'm going to do a breathwork exercise first. And if you stay on here, remind me, start with good, healthy food. So with addiction, I already ate healthy and I already did exercise. But the reason you have an addiction is because there's a part of you that doesn't feel good enough, doesn't feel wanted, caring, loving, lovable, important. And in understanding why you feel that way. And it goes back to an inner child problem of maybe you weren't getting the attention that you desire. Starts with good, healthy. And again, I for 40 years, 50 years, I was brought up with good food, diet, eating healthy, exercise, and mindset. I was a very positive person. But then when I wanted to change careers, I gained 40 pounds, and that's with eating healthy. Anyways, so I'm going to get back to that later. So I've been learning about letting go of the way we feel about ourselves. I didn't know I felt and had all these things that happened to me before I was 3 years old that I learned about myself. So to get rid of an addiction, you got to understand, what is it? The addiction, you give a name. I do this with anxiety. Give it a name. And as soon as we do this and go through this, I don't even know if they're still here, CEO, entrepreneur. When you ask your addiction, give it a name. So we'll call it Brittany. I call mine Brittany. Give it a name, describe what it feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like. And what would this addiction say to you if it could talk? Describe it in detail. What color is it? And when you describe what it looks like, you get an idea of what you feel like on the inside of your body. And when you ask it what it what it's going through and why it's acting like this, you get an idea how you feel about yourself. And then you ask, what will it take to stop this addiction? It will tell you, you got to strengthen your mind that you are good enough, that you are lovable, wanted, important. Maybe you're holding on to some guilt. Maybe you're holding on to a parent's guilt or blame. They have a good day. We're the first person I didn't want to punch. Big facts. Okay, so let me know if that made any sense. That's how I stopped drinking. It didn't make me stop drinking, but I realized why I drank. And I don't know what kind of addiction you have. And I don't even know if you're still here. CO, are you even still here? So let's do the breath work. You're going to breathe, expanding your belly because it gets oxygen all the way down to the pit of your stomach. You want to breathe like this. And you want to do it deep breathing, getting to the stuck energy, because energy is stuck in the body, and that's why we feel heavy, disconnected, brain fog, loss of memory. We're over bombarded with processed energy. Over bombarded. I have a vaping addiction. That's why. Oh, good. We'll see you. Do this breathwork exercise for 2 minutes, and this is going to help your breathing, but it's also going to release. I mean, in 2 minutes, it may or may not release any emotions, but if you start feeling like you're going to cry, thank you, you are so sweet. If you feel like you're going to cry, let the tears come up. So a lot of us that have addictions or symptoms, it's unprocessed stuck energy. All right, so breathe like this, 2 minutes. Don't give up. Do the best you can. You can do this. So that breath work that I do a lot of belching. I do a lot of coughing. I do a lot of crying. I have a lot of stuck energy because I've been processing, and I only started processing like 3 years ago. I started crying 8 years ago, and the crying was because my body's overloaded with emotions because I don't process. Is it true that something that you're passionate about doing helps with anxiety? Like, I enjoy driving a lot and does help. So having a passion, okay, and we'll do the breath work as soon as I answer this question. Being passionate about something, I'm passionate about stuff. I still have anxiety. I work out every day. I love working out. I love doing the breath work, but the anxiety is still going to be there. You got to understand why the anxiety is there. Being passionate is like you're just doing something that you're happy about, and it keeps you from thinking about the anxiety. But the anxiety is always still going to be there as soon as you want to get out of your comfort zone, as soon as you want to go out with friends. It's better to get to the anxiety and why it's there. Smoking weed is a distraction and keeps you from, and eventually it will stop working. I know because I have a friend. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, all right, so let's start breathing. In 25 seconds, we're going to breathe like this, either in through your nose or out through your mouth. There is no wrong way, but you want to just keep breathing to unstick the unprocessed emotions. All right, in 15 seconds, follow along with me, and we're going to do it for 2 minutes, okay? In 10 seconds. And if you start feeling dizzy, just lay down, but keep going. All right, let's begin. Remember to expand your belly because you're getting oxygen down to the pit of your stomach, to every cell. In through your nose or in through your mouth. The more you put in and the more you pull out, the better you're going to feel it. You might start getting a little sweaty. That means it's working. Things are coming up. Try and breathe in a little bit more. Remember to expand your belly. We're at 1 minute. 1 minute to go. Keep going. I know you're saying, Julie, this is hard. That's because you have stuck emotions in the body. Keep going. I know you might be feeling a little lightheaded. That's why you're sitting down. Move your body around. Move your shoulders around. But keep going. 50 seconds left. I'm sorry, 30 seconds left. Try and breathe in a little bit more. I know you're getting sweaty. I know it's hot and hard. You're feeling tingly. That means it's working. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe normal. Have your eyes closed. Feel the calmness in your body. Feel the awareness. Look around. Just feel. You might be feeling a little lightheaded. Feels good, huh? This is what it is to be in alignment. This is what it's like to be calm, and this is how you get out of your head. All you had to do is 2 minutes. So when you're overthinking and you can't get something out of your mind, start breathing. And my body's still feeling tingly. So some people will think this is meditation. This is meditation on steroids, because meditation, you're not breathing that way. This is letting go of the stuck energy, the unprocessed emotions in the body. The reason you feel so heavy, I do these exercises, but the next day I start vaping, because you didn't let go of the reason why you vape. You have to sit and process. So again, I used to work out and I still drank, but now I process the emotions. Don't forget to mention everyone has an immune system that can heal and protect you from, well, that's what the breathing does. So your immune system will not protect you if you're holding on to guilt, anger, blame, if you have fear. So that's why a lot of people have stuck energy and don't understand, why are they doing all the right things? Exercise, mindset, walking barefoot, hugging a tree. None of that stuff just went out the window as soon as I changed careers, because in where I wanted to go, I didn't believe in myself enough to have it. So my body went into anxiety, chronic fatigue. Immune system can also hurt you. It can overdo the healing. You can't overdo healing. You can take too many vitamins, but what it is, so somebody said something about anxiety. I'm sorry I didn't answer. Is the anxiety some old ancient behavior that might have been necessary to survive? So yeah, anxiety is a survival mode. Anxiety sometimes is fear, saying, what if it doesn't work? That what if is killing people, making them sick, keeping them from moving forward, having chronic fatigue, anxiety, unmotivated, because they're always living they're in their head thinking, this isn't going to work for me. I'm living in fear, and they can't get out of their head. That's why they smoke pot or vape, because they're trying to let go of the pain. But you have to go through the pain. You have to experience it, learn the lesson. It's going to keep happening over and over again until you let it go. Does that make sense? Is it possible to completely cure anxiety from your life? So I didn't have, so there's different types of anxiety. So there's one anxiety that I had where I cleared out, I did a detox for my organs. I was having hot flashes. People told me it was menopause. I had them every day at 4 o'clock, but it was the way I was feeling about myself. So I believe so, because I know people that don't have anxiety. Man, Than. Lady, have you thought of getting into corn? Okay, so don't say, lady, you didn't answer the question. There's a reason why I don't answer the questions because it's not related to what I'm talking about. I'm in the middle of a discussion. So can you release anxiety? So there's different reasons why you have anxiety. Again, I had anxiety and panic attacks when I was playing pickleball, having fun, and they always say, go outside, get fresh air. I'm an outdoor person. I took magnesium and it helped a certain type of anxiety. So you got to understand where your anxieties are coming from. I never had another panic attack. I was having them all the time, but it was magnesium. So I stopped having hot flashes when I did a body detox. But for me, I think I was supposed to experience these different types of anxiety to share and help other people. It's a simple yes, no question. The need to get worked up on. No, it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. You want to share with me what corn is? It represents something, and I'm not familiar with it, but we're talking about anxiety, so I don't have to answer your question when I'm in the middle of talking about something. So when we talk about anxiety, discovering where your anxiety is coming from, is it yours? Hi, dear Season. We're talking about anxiety, and can you let it go? So you can test your body. Now, all of us need corn. Helps relieve stress and maybe even relieve anxiety. So you've got to try different things. Sometimes you can take magnesium or minerals. I take a liquid mineral and I take a pill that's a magnesium because I was having the panic attack 6 months ago while on vacation of all things. And I just wasn't comfortable and I was playing pickleball. So I haven't had it since. My friend had magnesium for me and said, take this. It just happened. Sometimes you identify with things, or I do. Some of us, sometimes people just identify with things. Um, and Manthan, I don't know if you're talking about eating corn. What kind of corn are you talking about? I don't know if that's a symbol of something, but try taking minerals. You can body test yourself and ask yourself, do I need to take this magnesium? I can, and you can look, it's too long for me and people won't understand what I'm doing. So it's like a video in itself and how to do muscle testing. I just ask the body and I will sway back and forth. That's like for a discussion on its own, but you can look up a video how to do muscle testing to ask, do I need to take vitamins, minerals to help this? Is it harmful to take magnesium for a long term? Any side effects? So that is not something I can answer. You got to go to a doctor for that. I take minerals and I've been taking it for 6 months. I can body test my and ask if you already have magnesium, if you're taking them in certain things. Again, we're supposed to be eating healthy, but the nutrients are so deprived because they over fertilize and kill all the good stuff. Yeah, and I can't answer if magnesium is going to help you. I can muscle test it. I know how to do that. Um, I'm trying to think if I have, again, look up muscle testing. It's not something that you can just test. You know what? I could actually probably tell you. Let me see. Let me see. I can muscle test it for you. So this is how, don't rely on this, but muscle testing. Side effects. SC vibes. Can this person take magnesium? So you need the magnesium, and can you just take it for 6 weeks? Try taking it for 6 weeks. So how are you doing today? I'm doing great. Thanks, dear Season. So I don't rely on blood tests because blood tests never told me that I was magnesium. They do what the whole world, like they group you. And because I'm so healthy, I always come up so healthy. And it's like, well, if I'm so healthy, why do I not feel healthy? Because something is missing. And it may not even be related to magnesium for you. It could be your emotions. This is the IRS. Remember to, oh, thanks for reminding me. I got to work on my taxes today. Mine are actually already done. I just got to do the input and the minus and the adding and subtracting. Glad to hear. I enjoy watching your streams. Thanks, dear Susan. So, you know what I can do? Gosh, it's hard to share and show somebody how to do the muscle testing. I do that in my group, where it's a private group, because everybody's there at the same time, where everybody comes on and gets off, and it's hard to answer questions, and I really want to answer questions. So it's more of a focus. If you make a comment on one of my posts, I could probably send you a video on it. So, but anxiety comes from different things. You can do a detox. I did an organ detox and I stopped having hot flashes. And it was, I can just tell you, and you can look it up. It's the olive oil and Epsom salt detox. And it makes all the kidney stones, liver stones, and gallbladder stones come out. And even the parasites that are clogging up the organs, so they can now filtrate properly. I realized my anxiety came from my childhood to adulthood to my jobs, and now I run my own business. I feel like I'm not suffocating like an imposter. I try my Bible, read a lot of my books, and it helps. Oh, I'm so glad. So you had to be self-employed in order to remove your anxiety. So I was always self-employed, but even though I owned my own company, I had employees. I always hid because I would have anxiety if anybody knew I was the owner, because I never felt good enough. So even though I owned a business and I hired my friends that were my supervisors, I didn't know that was anxiety, that discomfort that I was feeling. And that was back in my 20s. So now that I look back, discomfort was anxiety, and having these stomach issues was all anxiety. So it was discomfort. That's what I always called it. But I never knew that that's what anxiety was till just like probably a couple of years ago. Does that make any sense? Your system is floored. You have to inhale deep twice. And sometimes I forget to breathe. But doesn't taking magnesium for like 1 year or so cause some kind of health issues? So you're supposed to take your minerals all together. And you are correct, but it depends on, like, I know some people take like B1 or B12, and although your Bs, as soon as you drink alcohol, you kill all your Bs. So Bs and C is good. Magnesium, you probably are correct. I don't have enough information about that. I'm not a vitamin. I mean, I took vitamins. I've been poisoned off vitamins. Like had that effect where I was lethargic from too many because my body wasn't processing and absorbing them. Thank you. You can get it. It's a tapestry. It's a tapestry I bought for like $12. And I bought like a few of them. I change them in and out. So it's better than painting the wall, because I used to paint my wall like this. So yeah, if you get like a supplement that has magnesium in it, but again, if you're deficient in it, you want to take it. And again, I muscle test everything. Look up muscle testing and learn how to do muscle testing. You're not going to learn it in one day. Does that make sense? What color is your pedicure? It's let me see. Oh, there's not a color on there. It's blue. It's like a dark navy blue. I have vitamin D deficiency. All of us seem to have vitamin D deficiency. I kind of wonder, and I'm outside every day. You can see I'm tan. I'm outside every day. I kind of wonder why we go to the doctor and every single one of my friends is vitamin D deficient. That's kind of strange. I sometimes wonder how true, if you know about doctors don't make money if they're not writing prescriptions, right? And subscribing you stuff. So I'm not much of a doctor person, and I'm a self-healer, so I've healed all my symptoms. I did have a mole, but by the time they registered, they got me into an appointment for a dermatologist. It fell off. So had I not gone for that mole, I wouldn't have noticed I lost 35 pounds, because if that guy is still on here about looking in the mirror and the mirror lies, the mirror will tell you you see demons, but it's really in your head, or the mirror says you are fat today. It's because the mirror doesn't talk. It's you looking in the mirror. Organic protein is healthy and has a lot of nutrients. It does. And I did organic. I was on a high protein diet again, and I didn't lose any weight. But for me, it's all processed, unprocessed emotions. My weight issues, when I started processing the emotions, I started letting go of my weight. I just got back from the gym and I feel amazing today. Eat healthy and take your vitamins. I've always done that my entire life. And I knew that. I don't know how old you are, dear Susan, but it wasn't until I wanted to change my life, my career, that I gained weight and I became I had chronic fatigue, anxiety, and all these health issues. I still forced myself to walk the dog. I still went to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, but then I'd be in bed all day until my son would come home. And then I'd get up and cook dinner, and it would be an on and off day. And so it wasn't all about the gym. It's not all about mindset, vitamins, exercise. It's about what our thoughts are. And those thoughts where I didn't feel that I was good enough. So I'm at 1 hour and I've got to go work out at the park with the dog. So although I go to the gym and lift weights, then I do my cardio at the park and we go running around. So thank you everybody for being here. I will be back on Monday morning. Bye.